A Wednesday afternoon interrupted by gunfire.
2 police officers are in the hospital and the suspect is dead. Here's where it happened in Sedonia. This is right across the Baltimore City, Baltimore County line here in Northeast Baltimore, right on Radicke Avenue, just outside the Garden Village Apartments.
The officers are part of a joint federal, state, local task force. They were serving an arrest warrant when they confronted the suspect. Shots were fired. The 2 officers were taken to shock trauma, and the suspect died at the scene.
We have team coverage here for you tonight. Mallory Safaste, as you see, is live at shock trauma where those officers are undergoing treatment. But first, let's go to Dave Detling, who's at the scene where the shooting took place. Dave.
Hey there, Jamie and Kelly. Well, just looked at some video from a viewer describing exactly what happened prior to us arriving on scene. We actually saw some of the investigators surrounding that suspect performing CPR. We're working on getting you that video, but behind me still a lot of police presence right now. The forensic team still here, evidence markers on the ground as they recreate what exactly happened. But we want to show you video from earlier today. So take a look at this video. You're looking at what was the center of this investigation, focused just off of a parking lot at the Garden Village Apartments. That's where we saw most of law enforcement officials earlier today. Now nearby we did see a U.S. Marshal's protective shield leaning up against a tree not far from where the suspect's body was, covered by a sheet. Now as we've learned, the officers were part of the apprehension task force. They were serving an arrest warrant for a former state corrections officer who the governor says had a warrant for attempted murder last night out of Pennsylvania. Now the Baltimore City and County detectives confronted the suspect. That's when gunfire erupted, exchanged between all 3 individuals. We all know that the 3 individuals were hit by bullets. Talking to people in the area, they say this is all very unsettling.
All of a sudden, I'm like, oh, Jesus. So I was in my apartment, and first thing I thought was just to jump in the bathtub because I was just scared.
Normally it's kind of peaceful. We have our little riffraff, but not no dead bodies laying on the ground, U.S. Marshal being shot, and people being killed. We don't normally.
And again, that suspect who was shot is a former Maryland State Corrections officer who was wanted for attempted murder out of Pennsylvania. His identification has not been released, but as any new information becomes available, we will bring it to you. For now, reporting live, Dave Detling, WMAR 2 News.
All right, thanks a lot, Dave. WMAR 2 News' Mallory Safaste is at shock trauma, where officials just gave an update on how the officers are doing tonight. Mallory, they're getting the best care possible there, but we're hearing one was saved because of the care he received in the field from a fellow law enforcement officer.
Yeah, Kelly, shock trauma physician-in-chief Dr. Thomas Scalia saying one of those officers' lives was likely saved because of a tourniquet applied by a fellow officer. That bought them time to bring those officers here to shock trauma where they are receiving the very best care. And since around 12:30 or so, we've seen a number of officers come to the hospital, a number of elected officials, including Governor Larry Hogan, who was here. He arrived just after one of the officers came out of emergency surgery after suffering multiple gunshot wounds. The governor didn't get to speak with him, but said his vitals are stable. He did, however, get to speak to the second officer. Here's what he had to say.
The second officer we did get a chance to talk with and visit with, and he's doing great. And he was alert and, kind of joking around and, in very good spirits. But we were just happy to get a chance to talk with the families of both officers and with many of the other officers themselves.
So about an hour ago, we heard from the leadership teams with Baltimore City and Baltimore County. They haven't yet released the identities of those 2 officers, only telling us that they are veterans of the city and county police force. The good news tonight is that they are awake, their families are here, and they are expected to be okay. Reporting live from shock trauma, Mallory Safaste, WMAR 2 News.
And